One of my fields of study is journalism, and something that's incredibly disheartening in a university classroom is when the same professors who are teaching you how to be unbiased in a career of journalism are actually the perpetrators of biased and one-sided information. Obviously, as a human being, it's impossible to be completely 100% neutral and detached, but professional journalists are meant to try their best, and they're supposed to be trained and qualified enough to do so. I've had a couple of professors that I feel worked their hardest to create a very well-rounded classroom that brought in multiple sides of issues, pros and cons to everything that they taught. But for the most part, I find that that's actually not the case. For example, today in my international journalism class, my professor mentioned a story about a US-based journalist who went to Saudi Arabia and was killed in an embassy there. And she mentioned that she thought it was really sad that Trump completely denied that this case was murder. And that sounded pretty strange to me, and she mentions negative things that Trump has done quite often. And so today I decided to do just a quick fact check by myself. I pulled out my phone and I looked up what Trump had said about this incident. For the record, I used multiple news sources to look for information. Most of what I read was from PBS, but I also am citing information from the Washington Post. Trump never explicitly denied that this death was murder. What he did, however, say was that this case was not a topic of conversation between himself and a Saudi Arabian governor. He did say that this was being heavily investigated by the CIA, and he also said that the CIA had not drawn any official conclusions about this death. Unlike the little side comment that my professor led students to believe in her class, none of those statements made by Trump is an explicit denial that the death was murder. And I'm in an international university, so every student in that classroom is from a different country. These are journalists who are now going to go into another country and work in a place of journalists and media, and they now have an incorrect view of another country's politician. This is just one example from comments that are made in every single one of my classes. And it is not in my best interests to try to fight the professors on the things that are being said or ever try to fact check professors, because when I've done so in the past, it has negatively affected my relationship with the professors or started an argument in class. And that's not good for my reputation.